Hello, this is Dr. Rachna Poor from Sarthi Mind Care Aurangabad. I wanted to talk to you about the current situation that we are in, specifically to discuss how to stay sane amidst all the insanity of COVID pandemic that we have, and how to make yourself as comfortable as possible in the current living situation. I know these are far from our ideal living situations because we are mostly locked up or just coming out of lockdown, just resuming our work and readjusting to the new normality, which is far different from whatever we were used to before. Because earlier we would just go around, sit in a restaurant, have a coffee, go for a movie, or if you're bored, go for a long drive or something of that sort. So none of that is possible right now, and even if we decide to do that, there's a high chance that we might meet someone, we might run into someone who has COVID or who has had COVID and is recovering from it. And so there is fear, uncertainty, doubts everywhere. As I always say, previously if anyone sneezed or coughed in public, we hardly noticed. Nowadays it's like if anyone sneezes, we look at the person as if he's carrying a bomb. So that is the extent of fear and uncertainty in our minds, and it's all rational. It's very sad to say that these fears are very real, because we have lost millions and millions of people to COVID worldwide, and many of us have lost family members, some dear close ones, and are readjusting to life post that. So how to stay balanced, how to not be extremely negative in these times. What happened is, few days back I received a call from one of my colleagues. I'm a consulting psychiatrist at Sarthi Mind Care Aurangabad, and I received a call from my colleague saying that he feels helpless when he's working. He is actually handling corona cases, and he feels sometimes so helpless that he feels like he will burst out into tears. Or another friend of mine told me, like, it feels like we are going on and on and on fighting this thing off, and it just refuses to go away. Somehow you cannot see the end of the tunnel, and it is difficult to believe that this is going to end sometime and life will be back to normal, especially when you're working as corona frontline worker, or when you're looking at the reality so closely. If this is the condition of doctors who are so used to seeing deaths every now and then, imagine what is the situation of general public. They are of course overwhelmed, unsure of what to do next, and they don't know how to go about it. So here in this video we will have some tips for you on how to stay sane, how to stay balanced, and how to not overwhelm yourself with all the negativity around. But you'll say, madam, I switch on the news channel and I happen to see the first thing is that thousands of people have died, thousands of people have turned positive, and so and so number of cremations have been performed, and something of that sort. Then what to do? The solution is very simple. So the first tip for you guys is better to stay away from news channels, particularly those which are dramatizing the content. So you might want to switch to government authorized news channels which provide reliable data. Because you see, in India, if you will switch on Doordarshan, you'll have a news representative giving you news without changing expressions on face, without appearing so dramatic, without without the news being emotionally loaded. But if you will look at the private news channels, they are often busy in increasing their TRP ratings, increasing their viewership, so that they tend to sensationalize it, and you might want to stay away from that negativity right now. So first tip is, as much as possible, stay away from news channel. But then how to stay informed? As I said, refer to Doordarshan or government authorized news channels or newspapers will be a very good thing, because you might receive the news a day late, but at least it will be authentic, and second thing, it will be devoid of any emotional burden. So newspapers is a very good source of information. Now there is no need for newspapers, is it really? Because nowadays we have social media, so any news travels with the speed of ray of light. So you have WhatsApp, you have Facebook, you have Twitter, Instagram, and so on, and people uploading content on it. So you have everything at your fingertips. But then, is it really reliable? When there was no corona, we have had instances wherein these social media platforms were asked to improve their reliability, were asked to take measures to stop false information from being circulated. When it was not possible during that time, do we really expect that it will be possible in today's time? Because for haters, there is a lot of material to circulate to increase hatred. For people who like to dramatize things, or who like to traumatize other people based on some political or some motives of themselves, there are lots of options, there are lots of opportunities for that, and they are going to use it for their benefit. So what is the way out of this? Simple: stay out of WhatsApp groups or put them on silent mode. I'm not saying about family groups. You want to stay connected to family during these hard times, but you also don't want to be flooded with information on every platform without confirming whether it is false or true or something else. So stay away from all the formal groups wherever your presence is just sort of a formality, or you're just one amongst many. Keep those on silent mode, and as far as possible, do not believe anything whatever social media happens to say or happens to publish, because we need confirmation, we need authentic information. Now you will say, madam, if we will stay away from information, how will we, it is important to stay informed. How to go about life then? It is important to stay informed, but then ask yourself, are you the strategy maker for corona? Is your extent of information or your knowledge about corona, is it going to affect the strategies being formed at any level in any way? If you are a frontline worker, or if you are in health ministry, yes, you have to be informed with the correct statistics and everything. But if you are a middle class person sitting at home because of lockdown, it is okay to not be informed of how many people died of corona, how many people are positive in your area. It's perfectly fine as long as you're taking precautions. Now understand one thing about corona. This is, unfortunately, we have not been able to cure it so far. We have not found the medicine which will kill it yet. Modern medicine, the way it works, it might soon get there. But then, meanwhile, it is important to take precautions. Now, I need not go into details of how much, of what all precautions you have to take and so on, because you already know it, everyone knows it. Even a 5-year-old kid knows how to protect yourself from corona. But if you take due precautions, which is the only thing we have in our hands, we might stay a little bit away from being stressed. Now, second thing is, yes, there is a 50% chance that you might get infected with corona. So prepare for that possibility in advance. By preparing, I don't mean go for testing every week or something. I just mean that have your finances organized, have something planned. What is who is going to be the person whom you call in case of emergencies? Inform that person that I will call you whenever the time comes. And second thing is, have some backup professionally also we are going through a dark phase right now. So yes, have some backup, and please remember that you have to slow down a bit, because this is not the usual situation. This is something that the world has never seen before, and we don't know if it is ever going to see such situation again. So you just want to slow down, sit tight, and let it pass. Let the storm pass. Hold on to your roots very tightly. By that, what I mean is, stay connected to your family, stay connected to your friends, stay connected to the people who you feel care for you. What do I mean by that? Suppose you are staying away from your parents, but yes, make sure you call them every day, unless you have very strained relationships. Even if you have strained relationship, I believe these are the times to correct it, because we don't know what is going to happen next. And stay connected to your friends, because the more you ventilate your frustration, the more you speak up about your worries, whether they're financial, emotional, or something else, there's a high chance that a friend who's able to look at the situation neutrally will be able to give you a solution. Or if not, at least he will be able to give you a feeling that he is there for you whenever time comes, whenever you need anything. Or if nothing, the chance to speak up about your feelings, about how overwhelmed you are, about how exhausted you are, the feeling that you have actually expressed everything very honestly, gives you a huge amount of relief, psychological relief, emotional relief, and it is therapeutic. So make sure you call up that friend of yours whom you consider close. If you haven't been in touch, there is no problem. Just confess, just say that I have not been in touch lately, but today I thought of you and I'm getting back to you. So tell me, how's it going? And start it from there. I'm sure he or she will also be glad to receive a call from you. Now, these are, in general things, but how to help somebody who has corona or who is in isolation or quarantine center? What can we do for them? There has been a sad reality to this. There's a sad aspect to this, because many times it has happened that whenever a person is detected corona positive, people around haven't offered any help. I mean, in our society, it was the case that some person was diagnosed with corona and they needed drinking water, but people were so scared to give drinking water to them that they had to call up some people and arrange for it. Now, this is really depressing. You see, the only thing we have right now is each other. We can't walk away from our people. I don't mean to say that you have to go and hug the corona positive patients or people. Obviously, maintain distance, stay safe, keep yourself protected, but that doesn't mean that you shouldn't help the people who need help. What do you mean by that? You can just help distantly. You can call up the people who have turned positive, ask them what they need, and just get it from market, or help them get it somehow or the other. Help them with medicines. Just check in on them telephonically about how they are doing symptom wise, especially the senior citizens. Many times they are staying alone, so ask them if they need anything. If there is any symptom worsening, you can just call up an ambulance and ask them or inform them that the symptoms of this person have worsened and they might need to go for institutional care. So the point is, just check on senior citizens, check on your friends, check on your relatives. Don't leave them alone. And also make it a point that you can definitely drop the groceries at the doorstep. There is no corona unless you actually come in touch with the patient for 40 minutes without mask, without any protective gear. You can't absolutely have corona without these things. So don't be so scared that you lose your human touch. Now, another thing is about children, how to help them. Now, we often have kids in the house who are locked down, as we have, and who are not having their schools, not having any classes to attend. What to do about them? Plus they have this bombarding of news for 24 hours, and they are amidst all the negativity. Now what to do in such scenario? You can just switch off the news channel in front of kids, not watch news in front of them, not discuss any news in front of them, and even if they happen to hear something and they ask you what to do if I get corona, or what to do if you get corona, you can just assure them that it's going to be fine, that you have it figured out, that you have a backup plan ready, you have a list of people ready who are ready to help you. And right now it is not the case that any one of you is positive, but in case you get positive, you are prepared. As much as you sound balanced, you sound assured, you sound at least not scared, there is a high chance that the child will end up being less scared, less anxious, and less temperamental. Otherwise they will the fear that I might lose one of my parents is very much scary to them, very much anxiety provoking, and you don't want your child to be growing up in that sort of environment. Now to conclude the session with, I would like to tell you that you have to do yoga for 10 to 15 minutes. Keep exercising in some form or the other. If it is not possible for you to go out of home, at least do it at home for 40 minutes. Make sure you eat healthy, include fruits in your diet, make sure you drink a lot of water, and make sure you engage into something that gives you mental peace. Now meditation could come handy, yoga could also be very much helpful, and definitely it will add to your stress coping or your mental peace or your ability to tolerate stress. So that is one thing you might want to incorporate into your routine. Also, if you're feeling depressed, anxious, if you don't know how to deal with it, if you're getting too irritable, if you're getting suicidal thoughts, if you're getting overwhelmed and exhausted and not sleeping well, please don't be hesitant to seek help from your mental health care practitioner, whosoever is there near you. If you just want to ventilate, if you want counseling session, if you need it, I am also giving my contact details here, so you can also contact me for an online session. We are offering online consultations now. My phone number is 8830 575891, so you can always reach me there. I will be glad to help, and I'm sure many of the mental health practitioners, almost all of them, are very glad to help you, because we are amidst a crisis, and now this crisis is leading to one of the biggest mental health crisis of our generation or of our times. So we would like to help you out. Please do not even consider taking your life seriously, because we need people to stay alive. We need people to bring us back on our feet, and we need people to keep the world going on. There are going to be lots of problems, but this is what we have been taught for, and this is what we have been trained for, to survive the hard times. We cannot just simply give it up and say that it's enough. Have some patience. I'm sure it's bad, very bad, but somehow we have to have faith in ourselves that we have the strength to get up, stand up, wipe the dust off, and start moving on again. You have to somehow gather that courage to hold on. And anytime if you feel you don't have the courage anymore, we are there, happy to help. So please tell me how you liked the video, how you liked the content of it. Anything else, if there is to be added, please tell me in the comments section, and I'll be glad to address that in my next video. Thank you.